How to fix low water pressure in your home. Where did the water pressure go? You turn on the shower and instead of getting a strong stream of water, you get a weak trickle. You turn on the kitchen faucet while somebody else flushes a toilet, and suddenly it feels like you barely have any water at all. Or maybe the water pressure throughout your entire house has slowly gotten worse over the last few months. So what's going on? Before you spend hundreds of dollars calling a plumber, there are several things you can check yourself. Some low water pressure problems can be caused by something as simple as a clogged faucet aerator. Others can come from a partially closed valve, a pressure regulator problem, old plumbing, a hidden leak, or even an issue with the water coming into your house. Today, we're going to troubleshoot this problem step by step. And the most important thing we're going to determine first is this. Is the low pressure happening at one fixture or throughout the entire house? Because that one question can save you a lot of unnecessary work and money. Welcome back to Handyman Al, where we help homeowners understand common household problems, handle the repairs they can safely do themselves, and recognize when it's time to call a professional. And if you're new here, consider subscribing because we're building a library of practical home maintenance and DIY videos designed to help you take better care of your home and hopefully save some money along the way. Today's problem is low water pressure. We're going to start with the easiest possibilities first and work our way toward the more serious problems. That's important because you don't want to start replacing plumbing components when the real problem is a 5-minute cleaning job. Let's get started. Tools you may need. Before we start, let's gather a few basic tools. You may need an adjustable wrench, channel lock pliers, screwdrivers, flashlight, bucket, towels, and a small cleaning brush for clogged aerators or shower heads. One of the most helpful tools is a water pressure gauge, which can tell you whether you actually have a pressure problem or just a restriction at one fixture. You may also want work gloves and safety glasses. You probably won't need everything. Remember, we're going to diagnose the problem first and only use the tools necessary to fix it. First, understand pressure versus flow. Before troubleshooting, there's something important to understand. What homeowners commonly call low water pressure isn't always technically a pressure problem. Sometimes it's a flow restriction. Here's an easy example. Imagine your garden hose has plenty of pressure available at the spigot, but somebody bends the hose in half. The water coming out of the end becomes weak. The supply pressure didn't necessarily disappear. You restricted the flow. Something similar can happen inside your house. Mineral buildup, clogged aerators, dirty shower heads, partially closed valves, deteriorated pipes, and clogged filters can all restrict water flow. That's why we're not going to immediately assume that the water company isn't providing enough pressure. First, we're going to find out where the restriction is happening. Is it one fixture or the whole house? This is your first troubleshooting test. Walk around your home and test several fixtures. Check the kitchen faucet, check your bathroom sinks, check your showers, flush the toilets. If you have an outdoor hose connection, test that too. Now compare them. If only one faucet has low pressure, the problem is probably close to that faucet. If one bathroom has problems but the rest of the house doesn't, the issue may be somewhere in that branch of the plumbing system. But if every faucet and shower has weak pressure, we're dealing with a larger problem. That could involve your main shutoff valve, pressure regulator, water meter, supply line, plumbing system, well equipment if you have a private well, or even the municipal water supply. Diagnosis comes before repair. Check both hot and cold water. Here's another quick test. Turn on only the cold water, then test only the hot water. If both are weak, continue troubleshooting the general plumbing system. But suppose the cold water pressure seems normal while the hot water is weak throughout the house. Now your investigation changes. The problem could be associated with the water heater, its valves, piping, sediment, or another component on the hot water side. This is exactly why you want to isolate the problem before replacing anything. Clean the faucet aerator. If the problem is happening at only one faucet, start with the aerator. The aerator is the small screen assembly at the end of many faucets. Over time, sediment and mineral deposits can collect inside it, and sometimes the buildup gets bad enough to dramatically reduce the water coming from the faucet. Before removing anything, close the drain so you don't lose small parts. Carefully unscrew the aerator. Depending on your faucet, you may be able to remove it by hand, or you may need the appropriate tool. Once it's removed, inspect the screens. If you see debris or mineral deposits, clean the aerator according to the manufacturer's recommendations. Rinse away loose debris, reassemble it correctly and reinstall it. Then turn the faucet back on. You might be surprised at the difference. Clean a clogged shower head. Now let's say your faucets are working normally, but your shower has become weak. Look at the shower head. Those tiny openings can become clogged with mineral deposits. The buildup may happen gradually, which is why people sometimes don't notice how much pressure they've lost. Inspect the shower head openings. If they're covered with deposits, cleaning the shower head may restore the flow. Follow the showerhead manufacturer's cleaning instructions, especially if you have a specialty finish. After cleaning it, reinstall or retest it. If your shower suddenly feels powerful again, you found the problem without touching the rest of your plumbing. Check the fixture shutoff valves. Under many sinks, you'll find individual shutoff valves. If one fixture has low flow, check whether its shutoff valves are completely open. Sometimes a valve was closed during a repair and never fully reopened. Don't force an old valve. If it's corroded, leaking, seized, or appears damaged, that's different. A valve that hasn't been operated for many years can start leaking when disturbed. So inspect before you start turning things. If the valve appears to be in good condition, verify that it is in the proper open position for that particular valve design. Look for kinked supply lines. While you're underneath the sink, look at the supply lines. A flexible supply line can sometimes become bent, twisted, pinched, or kinked. If that happens, you've basically created a restriction in the plumbing. Look at both the hot and cold supply lines. You want smooth routing without severe bends or visible damage. If you see corrosion, swelling, leaking, deterioration, or damaged fittings, don't ignore it. A damaged supply line isn't just a water pressure issue. It can become a water damage issue. Check your main water shutoff valve. Now let's move to whole house low pressure. One of the first things to investigate is the home's main water shutoff valve. If this valve isn't fully open, it can restrict water going to the entire house. Maybe someone shut the water off for a previous repair and didn't fully reopen it. Maybe work was recently performed on the plumbing. Locate your main shutoff valve. Depending on the home, it may be near where the main water line enters the building, in a basement, utility area, crawl space, garage, or another location. But here's an important warning. Don't start forcing old plumbing valves. If the valve is heavily corroded, damaged, leaking, or won't operate normally, stop. That's a good time to bring in a licensed plumber. Did the pressure drop suddenly? Think about when the problem started. If your water pressure suddenly dropped, you could be dealing with a partially closed valve, leak, pressure regulator problem, or an issue with the municipal water supply. If the pressure gradually became weaker over months or years, mineral buildup, clogged filters, aging pipes, or corrosion could be responsible. That timeline can help you narrow down the problem. Check with your neighbors. Before assuming the problem is inside your house, ask a neighbor if they're experiencing low water pressure too. If several homes have the same problem, there may be utility maintenance or a water main problem in your neighborhood. That simple conversation could prevent you from unnecessarily taking apart your plumbing. Check the pressure regulator. Some homes have a pressure regulator near the main water supply. This device controls the pressure entering your home's plumbing system. If it begins to fail, your pressure may become too low, too high, or inconsistent. Don't automatically start adjusting the regulator. If you suspect it's defective and you're not familiar with the equipment, have a qualified plumber inspect it. Test your water pressure. Instead of guessing, you can use a water pressure gauge to get an actual reading. Many gauges can be connected to an outdoor hose bib. With other water fixtures turned off, follow the gauge manufacturer's instructions and check your static pressure. Many residential systems commonly operate around 40 to 60 psi, although conditions and requirements vary. An unusually low or high reading gives you valuable information when troubleshooting or talking with a plumber. Check filters and water treatment systems. If your home has a whole house water filter or water treatment system, check it. A dirty filter can become restricted and reduce water flow throughout the house. Follow the manufacturer's recommended replacement schedule. If you have a water softener, problems with that equipment can also affect flow. The important thing is to determine whether the restriction is coming from the home's plumbing or from equipment installed along the water supply. Look for water leaks. Low water pressure can sometimes be a warning sign of a bigger problem. Look underneath sinks, around toilets, near your water heater, in basements, and anywhere you have accessible plumbing. Watch for puddles, damp drywall, water stains, unusual sounds, or an unexplained increase in your water bill. If you suspect a hidden or major leak, don't ignore it. That's when getting professional help quickly can prevent expensive water damage. Old pipes may be restricting water flow. If you have an older home, the plumbing itself may be causing the problem. Older galvanized steel pipes can develop corrosion and mineral buildup inside. The pipe may look normal from the outside while the inside opening has become severely restricted. If deterioration is widespread, cleaning a faucet or changing a valve won't solve the underlying problem. You may need a professional to evaluate whether sections of plumbing need to be replaced. When to call a plumber. There comes a point where DIY troubleshooting should stop. Call a qualified plumber if you find a major leak, badly corroded valves, suspected underground waterline problems, severely deteriorated pipes, pressure regulator problems, or a problem you simply can't isolate. Remember, being a good DIY homeowner doesn't mean repairing everything yourself. Sometimes knowing when not to touch something can save you more money than trying to fix it. Recap, conclusion, and CT. A. So, if you're dealing with low water pressure, don't immediately assume you need an expensive plumbing repair. Start simple. Determine whether the problem affects one fixture or the entire house. Check your aerators, shower heads, shut-off valves, and supply lines. Then investigate your main valve, water pressure, filters, regulator, possible leaks, and the condition of older plumbing. The key is diagnose first and repair second. If you can safely handle the problem yourself, you may save the cost of a service call, but if you discover a serious plumbing problem, don't hesitate to bring in a professional. That's what Handyman Al is all about, helping you understand your home, handle the repairs you can safely do yourself, and know when it's time to call in a professional. If this video helped you, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Handyman Al. And we're always looking for the next project. What problem around your house would you like Handyman Al to cover next? Drop your DIY question in the comments. Your question could become one of our next videos. Thanks for watching Handyman Al, and I'll see you in the next one. DIY disclaimer. This video is for educational and informational purposes only. Always use caution when working on plumbing repairs. Turn off the water supply before performing any toilet repairs. Handyman Al is not a licensed plumber, and this content should not replace professional advice, inspections, or licensed repair services. Home plumbing systems may vary. If you are unsure, uncomfortable, or discover major leaks, cracked porcelain, water damage, mold, or structural issues, contact a licensed plumbing professional. By attempting any DIY repair, you assume all responsibility for your safety, property, and results. Always follow local building codes and manufacturer instructions.